so you can obviously see the tread and then how far out it is.
Let me do that.
Yes! Oh my god, bro! Oh my god! Today is a Mark II day. So, I just got some tires right here. So let's get these inside. We're gonna go put them on the carving heads and then get the wheels fitted up to the Mark II. Don't hit the lip. Oh wow, that was close. They know where they need to go. Just throw them off, they'll roll there. There's Zeth's body kit. I'm currently painting that for his RX-7. All right, these are the wheels we need to take off. Much of a stretch. It's a 10.5 tire. It's a 215/40, and I got 100 pounds in it, and it won't bead. We're getting there though. We're getting there. Just a little bit longer. Got to adjust my coilover. So I got the wheel all put together, and I got to put on the car, and I made my adjustments to the suspension that were necessary, and I discovered something that's extremely unfortunate. Now, if you're an S13 guy, 240 guy, you've been through this before, and what I've discovered, and then went into the Facebook groups and confirmed by asking questions, is that just like the S13, the rear suspension geometry on a JZX 81 and an MX 83 Cressida isn't the same on both sides. And obviously when it's at stock height, it's very hard to notice this, but as you lower and adjust the suspension, it exaggerates anything like that to a degree where it becomes noticeable. So what's happening here is that even though I have the suspension lined up exactly the same on both sides, on both sets of arms, this wheel is poking out farther on the top, and honestly the entire wheel, than the other side is. Check this out. We'll stop and look at this one so you can obviously see the tread and then how far out it is. And then if we come over here, look at that. That's way farther in there. And with that the way it is, I can adjust it more, add a tiny bit more camber, and then get this thing near tucking, which is the ideal fitment for these wheels. Obviously, because the car's so nice, I'm not going to go like full static paper thin clearance or anything, but there's a fine line between what's acceptable and what's not. I was being summoned by Corwin. We're going to come up here tomorrow and we're going to adjust this rear arm and get it right, because I'm not going to let this hold me up for weeks like I normally do. This is the video that I'm going to be uploading tomorrow, which is today for you guys, but it's last night for me, which is Friday night. Nice and confusing, right? But yeah, I'm gonna be up here and I'm gonna find a solution to this so I can get this video up. Yo, look, my Amazon package just got here. The guy just pulled up 2.5 hours. Well, wait, hold on. What is it? 9:30. He was supposed to be here at 4 o'clock, right? And then I went outside and I just got to listen to him talking a bunch of shit about all the people who he delivers packages to. But hey, I got my package, so that's all that matters. Sorry that I own a business, and sorry you gotta deliver to my business. It's your job. Anyways, let's open this up. You like that? You can complain about your job all you want, but don't complain about your job as you're doing your job to serve me as a customer. I matter, okay? This piece, it matters, you know? Dude's got a real bad attitude. That's alright. It's a whole lot of not my problem. It kind of is my problem if you do look at it that way, because I had to bite my tongue because that's the guy who delivers here all the time. So it's like, if I want to have more problems, then I'll create a problem by pointing out the problem that he's causing. But I've learned you gotta pick your battles. Anyways, look at this. This is a conversion adapter. Kind of ghetto. Don't really care. And this is so I can put my turbo on my turbo manifold. So let's look at it. Alright, so here's the idea. Boom. T4 to T3. Alright, so it's got some hardware, so it'll just stay on here. Right, that's the idea. You bolt this on. Alright, then you come in and you set this on. And now, suddenly, I got a turbo. And nothing fits right, and I'll have to make some adjustments. But look, turbo. I will say though, this thing looks absurd. Oh, I'm wondering what you guys think about this Dabitat art piece that I have on my wall. My great friend DJ came here and did this, and I have the whole time lapse of him doing it. If you guys think that's cool, I will throw it in the next video. It's a very short time lapse, but I think it's great because I feel like I'm an artist. I love my friends that are artists. I appreciate art, and I recorded him doing art that's made for me, which is crazy. And if you guys want to see it, just let me know. You know what I'm saying? So I can show it to you. Either way, we're going down to Cory's to weld some stuff, okay? I should just get adjustable uppers. I'll get them when I build the proper set of wheels for this car. I do have these 6-lug ones, but I do have several sets of monoblock carving heads that I do plan on using my Bridgeport mill that I bought when I built my shop to make into 3-piece wheels. But that's kind of a long-term project because it costs a lot of money to get all the stuff to do that. But eventually, I will.
Like if we cut it, we tack it, you put it on, you're like, oh, this doesn't work or this sucks, and it's no good.
Yeah.
And you have another set.
I also got my JZX 100 ones, so the only thing about that is that the holes where they mount are smaller, but temporarily I can still put something in, so.
By the way.
What are you working on? What's your project?
BK1 swapped FRS.
That's very exciting.
2-liter turbo.
That's gonna be fun. Has anybody ever done this swap?
No.
That's sick.
That's why I decided to do it. I did have an SR in it, but people have done SRs and nobody's done that. Also, what made me do it is I was reading on a forum and some kid was asking about doing this swap into an FRS. And then this guy was just like hammering this kid. Like he's just trolling. It's not possible. You can't do it, this, that. So to the guy on that forum, yeah, kick rocks.
You heard him. Kick rocks. What do you think?
Kick rocks.
Kick rocks. Alright, so I went ahead and I cut the control arm, and I also shaved down the area that would have ended up hitting the coilover once we shortened it. Right now, everything's mismatched because obviously we cut the pieces out. Now these pieces are just about the same size, but because of how it's designed, it's still going to line up differently. So I'm going to run down to my shop, and I'm going to find some metal, because it's looking like what I can do here is we can weld a flat piece of metal about this length to the inside of this piece, right? And it'll be on the outside of this piece, and we can weld it there and weld it there on both sides, and that should keep everything aligned and allow me to get everything lined up at the proper height and proportion. ChatGPT is wrong 90% of the time.
I know.
Don't listen to it. should be good for mock-up purposes. Everything is even and level. So if it all works, then you can just trim these down, get it all welded in, do it on the inside, and it should be good. Alright, so I went ahead and I installed in this mocked up shortened control arm, and look at how much natural camber it has right now. So we'll see if that provides a good tuck, and then we can get it dialed in from there. Yes! Oh my god, bro! Oh my god! Look at it, bro! Oh my god, it's literally perfect, bro! What? Are you kidding me right now? Oh my god, dude! Yo, this is genuine as hell right now. I know that I never get excited in my videos, so you guys know when I'm genuinely excited. Do you see that? Do you see that?
It's beautiful.
Yes! Oh my god!
Baked it in. Not too bad.
Cory's got some nice goobers on there.
Don't touch it, it's hot. I'm also not a welder, by the way.
Oh, you're doing fine. Alright, so we welded the control arm and I just put it back on, and I'm working on getting the fitment dialed in. Let me know what you guys think about this. Does that work? I think that works. That looks pretty good. I'm not going to leave it this dangerous. I think I'll never be able to drive the car comfortably if I leave it like this. But now I know what I can work with, and this is nuts. I mean, that looks unreal. I thought I was going to have problems fitting these wheels. That is no longer the case. What you think, bro?
I think you should ride like that, homie.
Oh my gosh, yeah, of course you do. Oh, that's okay. He's got a sick S14 with some fire fitment too,
right.
So that's terrifying. I can't even put my finger in here, dude. I'm gonna raise it up a little bit, drop a little bit of camber out of it, but now the issue of the control arm is no longer a factor, which was the biggest thing here, right? I had to make sure these wheels were actually gonna fit. So now that I got the car's fitment on the rear to a place that I think is reasonable and safe, the next goal would be to match the other side to it. Cory doesn't come up to the shop on Sunday, so I'm gonna have to wait till Monday with this ordeal. Usually I don't come up to the shop on Sundays unless I have something pressing to do. So I might end up here tomorrow, I might not, but the next goal is to dial in the front fitment to make sure that that's on point so I can move past the suspension portion of the build, have that locked in, dialed in, and ready for me to finish the rest. So with that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic night. I'm building momentum consecutively over themed videos, right? Last video is Mark II, this video is Mark II, next video is Mark II. So drop a comment, let me know what you think, right? And we will see you in the next video.